What's up, y'all? Reggie here for Reg Talk TV, TM, and the fitness tutor, right? For this video especially, right? So, they wanting to do, it's been a while, but anyway, I usually do my videos from my car. I've been too busy working on my car than to be doing videos. I'm usually listening or watching videos or whatnot related to cars and whatnot. So, but I listen to and I watch a lot of DJ Vlad, right? And I'm highly critical of him when it comes to certain things, but I give him his props. I tune into his channel pretty much every day. I don't really watch much TV, so I watch and listen to the internet. I get to pick and choose what I want to watch and listen to as far as that goes. So I don't really watch much TV. But so one of the things, man, that comes up, especially lately, the past couple of months, has been this Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, right? Now, how many of y'all actually believe that that fight was real? I'm just asking, right? And again, any claims that I make in this video are alleged, right? I am alleging. I make no factual claims. But anybody with two eyes and a brain, as far as I'm concerned, knows the answer to that. It just, do you not know what pulled punches and just weird-ish looks like? It's like watching certain NFL stuff and not knowing what you're looking at. Like, there's nothing that says that entertainment is supposed to be 100% real and organic, right? I mean, there's still people who watch and love WWE and whatever it is nowadays, WWE, whatever. People still watch wrestling, knowing what it is. I mean, it's still hard on people's bodies and whatnot. I get it, but you know what it is. And that's what the NFL has turned into. I haven't given a crap about the NFL since Cam Newton didn't jump on that phone. And that was it for me. I knew what I was seeing. But anyway, I digress. That's another topic for another day. But, DJ Vlad, I'm highly critical of him, but I give him his props, as I said. And, I had a guy engage me in the comment section on one of these videos. And, I'm giving Vlad the smoke. And he's like, but you're still here. You still come into the video, so you are the problem and that you see in the mirror, or some kind of, whatever. And I'm like, dude, there is no problem. I'm criticizing a person and his content and some of his logical fallacies and inaccuracies and just erroneous ways of kind of looking at things that should be more factual. So whatever. But I get it. I play that same card. I play that card of, but you're still here. I get it. So it's natural. And it's an easy play. And but that's not my thing. My thing is not, as I said, I'm not from the cancel culture. So I don't think that just because you don't agree with somebody on something that you need to cancel them and never, and hate them or never talk to them or communicate with them or listen to anything that they have to say or whatever else, right? So, I'm highly critical of Vlad, but I give him his props. And, I will do, as I talked about, I think in my first video, introductory video for this channel, it's common for a lot of people on the internet to make their content based off of kind of reacting to other people's videos, obviously, right? So I watch a lot of Vlad, so I'm gonna be reacting to a lot of his stuff. So I've been able to pay attention to some of his content over the years and just kind of how he goes about things and whatnot. So, this fallacy that he plays, this obvious appeal to authority, right? I'll take a walk here. One of the beautiful 3 lakes here in the neighborhood. Oh man, I love it. Turning fall. But anyway. So he plays this common logical fallacy of the past months, right? So he says that, well, I interviewed Michael Jai White, and he says that the fight was real. And if he says it's real, then that's the truth, because he's a professional, real master fighter and all the things. And I believe pretty much everything Michael Jai White says about anything related to fighting and speed in the body, et cetera, except this, and except some other things I'll talk about here in a second. So he says that, obviously it's an easy play. Michael Jai White pretends to fight. Not only is he a professional fighter and a real fighter and multiple black belts in multiple disciplines, and can pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, based on just what he says and what he talks about, I believe that dude could probably beat, especially in just fighting. I think that dude could beat most people on the planet, around his size, right? So anyway, since Michael Jai White is a professional fighter and a professional actor of fighting, and actor, producer, director, right? Therefore, everything that he says about this situation must be real. I mean, it makes sense. It's an easy play. But come on, Vlad. I mean, how about you interview maybe a few other fighters, a few other professionals? But even then, I think that you would have a lot of biased answers, because a lot of people that are involved in entertainment and especially around fighting and acting and just anything related to this kind of field of possibly allegedly pre-scripted fights and entertainment that other people would assume to be real and organic, allegedly, etc. I would expect them to be biased, because to stick their neck out there and say, oh man, that's fake, yeah, you can't tell, blah, 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 well, it might limit them from getting opportunities in the field that they are, that they might like to be in and whatever, partake in, or just another money-making opportunity, or interviews even. So I still, even then, if you interview 20 actors and 20 boxers, I would still be suspicious of their answers because of that. But it seems like right now, Michael Jai White and DJ Vlad are the only other two people on the planet who think that fight was real and organic. Because you look in the comment section and everybody's saying the same thing, right? We saw this in other fights. Like, who was in Conor McGregor and Mayweather? Like, didn't somebody hold somebody up really one time? Like, because, and it's a play because it's common to lock up, to basically hold each other, right? And some of us, we knew what we were sawing in. And I'm not some big boxing guy. I've gotten into a little bit more over the past few years. But that same thing, if I'm not mistaken, with Roy Jones Jr. And, it kind of is what it is. We know what we are seeing. And there's so many people in the comment section who agree with this and who know what their eyes and brains are telling them. And to me, it's a pretty simple, easy thing to see. But Vlad is sold on the idea. And everybody that he interviews, it seems like so far, has agreed with the same thing. How you doing? But it seems like everybody that he interviews is of the same. I can't remember anybody that he's interviewed when this topic comes up that agrees with him. We'll just put it that way, so I don't say certain words, right? It seems like everybody's like, well, come on. So anyway, so I just want to throw that out there. Again, I don't hate Vlad. I don't think Vlad is the police. I don't think, I'm not one of those people that's just critical of Vlad and talks junk about him because he's white, like half of the people do. And I'll be doing a whole series or playlist or whatever on content, you know, reacting off of his videos. But this one, right, some of them I will give him his props and agree with him, and others I won't. Nobody needs help with good things. It's the bad, erroneous things that I think need to be corrected. Just like I see him becoming more and more of this political pundit and extremely biased in his line of questioning, and his hosts, like Sean Press, we'll talk about him, but both of them, and his channel in general, is obviously leaning biased towards a certain direction. And, you know, you claim you want to be like 60 Minutes, et cetera, et cetera. You're not a journalist. You know, you're a guy who interviews and you editorialize. So you're not 60 Minutes, you're not a journalist, you're not the media. But I will give you your props for being steadfast and sticking with it to where you have built a platform that has so many followers now, 6 million plus, to where pretty much any and everybody would gain from being on the platform, because you get so much potential exposure for yourself or whatever it is that you're saying, doing, or talking about. So, but I don't knock him and I don't hate him, and I will continue to watch his content because he has great guests. I want to hear the guests, and I will give Vlad a little bit of props for his lines of questions and controversial, you know, kind of topics and approaches. You know, whatever. I don't think he's the police or any of that other nonsense, because I actually have my own brain. I don't need the bandwagon. And if your dumb ass wants to go on a freaking video show with a mic, as he tells you, with a mic, you're wired. And if you want to say incriminating stuff in an interview, that doesn't make the interviewer part of the feds, you dumb clowns. But anyway, love, peace, bacon grease, and donut yeast. Peace, love, and light, man. I'll check you out on the next video. But yeah, oh, I want to touch on this too. If you think Michael Jai White, I want to touch on this because you're playing this authority, right? Because Michael Jai White is great, awesome. He can beat everybody's, you know what. He looks like $1 million. But I remember watching his video, and I went back and I watched. If you search for Michael Jai White Fitness, that's about an 18 or so minute video that comes on. Within about 2 minutes, he starts spewing bullcrap. Now, he probably doesn't know or didn't know that he was spewing bullcrap. And there were other points I remember from when I watched this content, you know, a while back. But within minutes, he starts talking about body type and this whole ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph thing, right? And he probably didn't know. And again, if you don't know the proper queries, when you research something, which I'm sure he did lots of, right? You won't even know how to research properly. So you should start Googling something. Google is a marketing portal based on relevance. Gotten a little bit better, but it's still the same thing. So he starts talking about this body somatotypes, right? Now, it's pretty commonly known now that all of that crap is crap and bull crap. And there's no real scientific backing behind it. And it was made popular by a guy named, I think it's William Sheldon. And this guy was a eugenicist. And if you don't know what a eugenicist is, it's a person who basically believes that certain races or genetic lines are inferior and basically shouldn't be on the planet. Much like Margaret Sanger, who went on to co-found Planned Parenthood and help black women unalive their children at 4 times the rate of other races. So, but I digress, right? So this dude was a raging eugenicist, which automatically makes you a racist. And if I remember correctly, he was low key or mid high key PDF file based on some of the stuff he was doing and researching with young kids in school, and some of the stuff that he would have them doing and he would be looking at and whatnot. So this is well known now. So, but it's been well known for a while. And then if you just knew a little bit about any inner workings of human metabolism, besides Googling and besides just stuff that you would scrape generally off the internet, you would know that it was bullcrap when it first came out, whether you did research on it or not. So This is your supposed authority figure who is literally talking about stuff from a racist eugenicist and using it as something to make him sound smart and to supposedly help people, you know, with their fitness goals and whatever else. It's just the same old thing. Say something to make people feel like they need you as their filter for good information so that they come back to your channel. And if you offer it, possibly sign up to buy something or some service. No real knock against him, but it just is what it is. There's nothing really special going on with the human biology. I mean, with the human metabolism, they are generally all the same. And we all play by the same dynamics. And there isn't really a disease out there which really causes a person to gain fat or not be able to burn fat. It just doesn't really exist. So anyway, but that's your supposed, authority that you are leaning on, Vlad. So it seems like it might be time for you to start looking for some other authorities to stake this claim in. And again, even then, would they be biased or not? The last video I was looking at and commenting on with this, which is what's his name? Gil, a basketball player, Gilbert Arenas. He doesn't really care about the bias. He just likes being entertained by it all. So he doesn't really care if it is or isn't half fake or whatever else. But people with eyes in the brain, as far as I'm concerned, knows we know what we're seeing, all right? Allegedly. Right? So anyway, peace, love, and light, man. See y'all in the next video.